Hello everyone and welcome to Cookies Enabled. I am Will, your host, and I know this is a little different than usual. I am not accompanied by Andrew right now, and that is okay. We were able to pre-shoot our episode as we usually did. He is pulling a double for a friend, as he'll explain in the video below, so I will let us take it over and jump right in here with our space news and a few extra tidbits of memes. So stick around, and I will see you guys in about 10 to 15 minutes. Hello, welcome to Cookies Enabled, everybody. I am Will, your host. Next to me here is Andrew, and we've been having fun with our audio issues this week, but hopefully this is coming through clear for you guys. Fingers crossed. Anyway, but we have some awesome news for you guys this week. And we are filming this part ahead of time, obviously, only because Andrew's got to pull a double tomorrow, which is awesome. Got to help out some people, so that's understandable. We totally get it. We totally get it. But we have some really cool space news, so we should definitely dive into this.
Oh, yeah. But no, you know, when your coworker has a dentist appointment for his kid, you can't really say no. So I'm going in to help out. Also, I'm a highlighter now. I got new hair.
Right.
Bright
it looks
green.
great, I
I'm
think.
excited
I don't know if
for
it's
it.
necessarily highlighter, but it's close.
I mean, look at that. That's pretty close. You can see me from a mile away. I love it.
Oh, man.
But yeah, we're doing this a day early, but
Yep.
you guys will see it tomorrow evening. Have fun with that. We got a few more updates coming in on our channel soon.
Yep.
Now that I figured out my data transfer issues, we're going to have my fiance Andy's performance of the Beethoven Moonlight Sonata up within a week. And the week after that, we will have the video where he talks about that and kind of delves into what it's actually about. And I mean, I know most of our videos are all science related, but it's science, art. I mean, it's basically everything STEAM related, you know. What is that? Science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics, all of that. We do everything. We're kind of all across the board, but it's things we find interesting.
Absolutely.
So we got a few good videos coming out. We just had Will's video on Art Prize, which I thought I watched last night. That was a really cool one.
Thank you. I thought that went really well. I thought that was really cool. I mean, again, they broke it up a little bit, and I tried to cram as much art in there as I could, so sorry if it scrolled really fast, but, you know, there was just a lot to cram.
Some of what was there was incredible. I mean, I've seen Art Prize. I've walked through downtown when it's happening before. So many creative people and what they're putting out. It's fun to have that in a public venue where you can just see it and vote on what you like, which is really great.
That is really cool. I absolutely love it.
And I'm slightly being rained on. I'm in the igloo again, you can see. But it's surprisingly nice out today and warm enough that we're getting condensation, which is just starting to drip. Like, I'm in my hoodie without my coat. It's
I know.
I love it. It gives me a little taste of spring. But anyway, space news. We have some space news.
Yes, we do.
Well, first, late last night, one of the Russian rockets launched a resupply mission to the space station. So we have that, one of their rockets. But the big thing is we had a, what do they call it? Like, we had an announcement video, whole, like press
release kind of thing.
With SpaceX on the future of Starship. Right there at their station, right there in Boca Chica, and it was incredible. I think Will's got the video. I'm pretty sure I sent that to you. We have an animation.
It's a real wide shot, so I'm sorry it's kind of like bumping into both our faces.
We'll play that while I'm talking. It is very similar to all of the other visualizations we've seen from SpaceX.
Right.
But when they do these, they're based on what is actually going to happen. And we've seen them
Exactly.
before. We've seen them of
Yes.
Falcon Heavy. We've seen them from Falcon 9 and all of their
Right.
missions. And all their visualizations
Yeah.
tend
There
to
you
be
go.
pretty close to what actually happens in
Right.
the real world after the fact.
Right.
And this, we're close. Looks like
Yeah.
the end of March is when the FAA will finally give their sign off, hopefully, on the environmental impact study. But he basically said once they do that, it's ready to launch.
Right.
They're just waiting so that they can push the button and make it go. Um,
Boop.
yeah, so we're getting close. The presentation was absolutely incredible. Again, we're playing it for you right now, probably
Yes.
without audio, but we'll have the link.
Yeah, it was
Go
just
watch the
music.
whole
They weren't
thing.
like explaining anything in the background,
no.
but the website does, and I will post all those links for sure.
Yeah,
So
go and watch the entire presentation that Musk gave. It was very informative on what we're doing.
oh, I can only imagine. I can
Yeah.
only imagine.
We have that, but the other big thing is they just announced that they're going to have what they call their new Polaris mission.
hmm Yep.
Now that came out relatively recently. I think it was the captain, basically, of the original Inspiration
Right.
crew they
Right.
sent, the
Yeah.
civilians that went up. He is funding a new mission. Polaris Dawn is what they call it.
Right.
And it's going to be a science and health mission using SpaceX rockets, using their suits, but a new suit. It's not just a pressure suit that's designed for being used in the capsule. It is going to be a suit that is capable of performing an EVA.
Nice. Very
So
cool.
we're going to get the first civilian spacewalk.
Very cool.
That's big news. Civilian
Yeah.
spacewalk,
Wow.
an EVA with a brand new suit. That's what they're testing because they're going to have to do that once they start doing their Mars and Moon missions. So this
Exactly.
is sort of
Yeah.
a test run,
Right.
but they're they're using the full capability of Falcon 9 and pushing their craft into the highest orbit that
Right.
humans have ever traveled around Earth. Now, obviously, we've been further away from Earth than to the moon,
Right. Yeah.
but just a standard orbit. They're looking at 500 kilometers,
Wow.
and that's, I think, about at least twice the altitude of orbit that the space station
Right.
flies at.
Okay.
So they're going to go out there. They're going to have a civilian EVA. They're going to be testing a lot of medical stuff. A lot of what is it going to be like for people
Sure.
on long-term missions. They're going to be getting out far enough that they're going to get some of the radiation from the Van Allen belt,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
which is now that's been a bit of contention for many years of what that does to a person. Now,
Right.
when they launched the Apollo missions, they designed it so that they would fly through the least affected parts of the Van Allen
Right.
belt. They knew how to launch over to the moon that way because there was a lot of radiation. But we're also several decades ahead in spacesuit technology. So
Right.
and ship technology. There's ways we can shield against this radiation.
Oh, very
So
much so.
we're-
Yeah, there's plenty of ways you can do that.
Exactly.
That's one reason
So-
why we use so much gold in space, is because gold is the best insulator against solar flares, because it can absorb or reflect all radiation
gold-
from the sun. So that's like one of the best.
Or-
But there's tons of other ones you can use as well. That is not the only one.
Exactly. But they're going to be testing a lot of different concepts during this. Like I said,
Right.
it's Falcon 9 and Dragon. They're going to be going to the highest orbit that humans have ever flown in.
Whew, that's scary.
I cannot wait to see it. I can't wait to see
Oh,
the
man.
views from the ship. And
That is going to be really cool, actually,
honestly,
to see.
that's
Oh,
gonna
yes.
mess with the flat earthers a lot because they always say you can't see the curve. They're gonna be high enough. You're gonna see the
Yeah.
curve. And no, it's not fisheye
It's
lenses.
inevitable.
The Earth is round. Can we just? The Earth
I'm
is
over it.
fucking round. I'm sorry. I can say that word because we're not monetized yet. Earth is fucking round.
Right.
And if you think otherwise, you're an idiot.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not even a little sorry. Not
No.
even a little bit. But
But they're
you
going to
do
be
have one
testing
thing
that
else
out.
to talk
They're going to
about.
be look, they're going to be doing that. They're going to be working on a lot of health issues, just to figure out.
Yes. Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, it is.
Like
And we need
long-term
to know
effects on humans in
how
space.
the human body is going to react when they are in space, especially deep space, going to Mars.
Right.
We
Right.
we did as much as we could in the moon missions, but at the same time, our computers were so limited at that point. There was
That
only
is
so
true,
much
too.
we could
Yeah.
record and quantify. These days, they're going to be able to collect so much data on how
Oh, it's
that works.
boatloads. Yeah.
So, no, I'm excited. It looks like fourth quarter of 2020, 2022.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yep.
near the end of the year, we're going to get to see that. Probably within a few months, we're going to see Starship do its test launch. And,
Yes. Oh, man.
we got a lot
So
of
excited.
exciting stuff coming up. So,
And you got one last topic. Now, we didn't mention anything about James Webb last week,
oh yeah,
but we got a selfie
yeah.
taken by James Webb's telescope itself, which is awesome. As part of the alignment, obviously, but still really cool to see. Let me pull this up really quick here. There we go.
Well, I had replied to a few comments on a Facebook post.
Right.
They were asking about why is it so blurry? Is this what we expect?
Oh,
But
God,
no,
no.
we're not looking at the actual camera that's going to be collecting
Right.
images from the main mirror. This is a camera that's specifically put behind
Yep.
the main sensor. They call it, I think it's some sort of iris camera. They call it,
Yeah.
but it's only to help with the alignment of
Exactly.
mirror segments. So in the image that Will's posting, you're going to see one that's really bright. That's
Right.
reflecting the light off of a star.
Exactly.
The other ones aren't. That's because
But you can
they're
still
not all
see the
aligned.
outline on the 18.
Yeah. And that's because they're not all aligned. But this is going to help.
Exactly.
So as they move it, you're going to see that starlight reflected from more. It's sort of just a backup camera to help them focus the mirrors.
Exactly. I
And
put
they've
a different
already
GIF
taken
on here,
images.
and it shows them
of
trying to adjust
Starlink.
each camera. So
Yeah.
that makes a little more
So-
sense for you.
But we got our first image. There are a few other images of the stars that it's looking at.
Yeah, that's true.
Which aren't
I
as
didn't get any of those,
impressive.
unfortunately.
They're not as impressive. They're blurry. They're going to be
They're
used
super
to align
blurry.
until they get perfectly in focus, which is what
Oh,
we're
yeah.
looking for. But
Yep.
either way, we got a selfie from James Webb.
Uh,
The last cool selfie was from the Mars rovers,
Yeah.
when they would turn their
Yeah.
camera around and
They're like,
and they were 360 or 180 degree cameras, so you'd see
Right.
the entire Mars rover.
Oh, I loved it.
But so yeah, James Webb is
This
on.
is cool.
It's
And of
working,
course,
it's
you know-
transmitting. That's
Right.
a big breakthrough, and by June we're going to see some of our first images into
I'm so
the
excited.
earliest days of the universe when light actually became a thing.
Right.
And I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, we are all super excited. And so not a ton of James Webb news, more good news. And again, no Hubble news. Hubble is still operational. We actually had some new pictures last week, but I didn't have enough time to
saw
cram
that.
it into the show. So they were great pictures. So check those out. Again, Hubble's still working great. But now we got some awesome memes for you guys. That man, we dug through some interwebs to find these. Let me tell you.
Oh, I got some. Yeah, we got some good ones.
Some of these are so funny. So this first one here is one of yours, and I absolutely love this, Andrew. It says, "A Super Bowl? Is it Pyrex?"
Yep. As we all know, the Super Bowl just happened. I
Unfortunately.
I have never been a fan of American football. If you've seen any of my Facebook posts, it's like, why don't if it's football, why don't they just use their feet to kick the ball into the other team's net?
That would be something to watch.
I've tried to understand the rules of football so many times, and I still don't get it.
I get the rules and how it's played and stuff. I think it'd be more fun if it was like a chess setup or something and not like a video. Actual video game football is actually way more fun. Anyway,
I've never understood it. I don't care. But
I love her face in this picture. She is so disgusted.
Maggie Smith from, I believe,
Bridget. Shoot, I know I was saying the wrong thing.
I know the show.
Bridgerton? No, I think that's wrong.
Downton Abbey, I think.
Downton Abbey. Yes, thank you.
Yep,
thank
Downton
you. I knew
Abbey.
I was saying the wrong one.
But,
I'm like, that's not the right one. But anyway, yes, love that one. Oh my God, so funny. Holy crap!
I got another Super Bowl one too.
And then your second one here, nobody, blank, and then 50 Cent. I don't know why this is so funny, but it totally is.
You see him just drop down, hanging from the ceiling during the halftime show.
Yeah.
And obviously, somebody had to make a Star Wars meme. I saw that on one of my Star Wars shit posting groups last night, and I knew it was perfect.
Oh, it's so funny. I love it. It's so simple, too. Just a clean-cut photo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so I've got two for you here as well. This one is from Gringo. And Gringo posted, his wife said, "What WTF is this pile of clothes doing on the floor?" And he says, "I struck down a Jedi." She goes, "God, I hate you." He says, "Yes, use your hate."
I've seen that. That's always a good one.
I don't know why I love this one so much. It makes me just die laughing every time. It's so funny. It's just super clever. I mean, we can all imagine the pile of clothes right there on the floor, like he just kind of and just fell to the floor, Love it. Oh my God. And then I got one last one for you here. This one's a little bit more ironic and references The Shining for those of you. And we mentioned this, I think, last week, but it says, "My lasagna." Yeah, I think so. I want to say, I'm pretty sure. If it wasn't last week, it was the week before last. So if you haven't seen that movie, check it out. It's a great movie. But it says, "My lasagna," after coming out of the microwave. Now, what you have here are pictures of the lead, and he is all nice and warm on the outside of your lasagna. But dead center in that lasagna is the coldest spot of all. Mm-hmm. Cold death lasagna.
Well, that's how microwaves work.
With Jack Nicholson. Oh.
I mean, it's just a magnetron in the corner that bounces microwaves around there. That, for people that don't know, that is why you have that almost fence-like grid.
Yes.
Over the
around
door.
The front. Yeah.
It's a Faraday cage. Those are built.
It grounds all the radiation.
Yeah, they're built at the right size that they interfere with the wavelengths of microwaves.
Right.
Faraday
so
cage,
all that radiation isn't coming out at you.
Faraday cage is basically a metal cage, and depending on the size of or the distance between the metal grid, it can basically block out or interfere with different light waves.
In fact, the illustration we have on screen is almost an exact replica of what a Faraday cage would do. You're channeling all of that energy around the center.
Yeah, they bounce around. It's why a lot of recipes tell you to, after a minute or two, take it out, stir it or
flip it or rotate it. Yeah.
Yeah, there are hot spots within a microwave. That's just how Faraday cages work. It's why if you go into a Meijer or a Walmart, And
Right.
there are areas where you're not going to get good phone signal
Exactly.
because you're in a
Exactly.
metal cage. That's how
You're
they
a
work.
giant
It
metal
is
cage.
great
And it's
because,
grounded too.
well, that's the thing. Yeah, if it's grounded, if you're in a good enough, well and properly designed Faraday
Right.
cage, and you got a Tesla coil next to you,
Oh,
it'll
wow, yeah.
electrocute the fence, but you're
Yep.
going to be safe. It's not going to
You'd
go
be totally
beyond that,
fine.
as long as you don't touch the fence, because then you
Don't
got
touch it.
about 1.5 million volts going through you. That hurts
Just a little bit of voltage.
just a little bit. I've been bit
Oh,
by
man.
22,000 volts, and that's not fun.
Right. Yeah, ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, it hurts.
But thank you again, Andrew, for tuning in. I will be taking over the rest of the episode here, and I have, I think, 1 or 2 more topics for us tonight. But other than that, I will see you guys all in just a second. And thank you again, Andrew. We'll see you again. Okay, I am back. Let's finish this episode. Now, I have 2 more topics, not 1. Sorry about that. I only had 1 earlier, but I found a secondary one. Now, it's still in the space category because we never really jumped out of that. Is this new engineering marvel, I guess you could say, of being able to technically ride a laser to Mars. Now, I know this sounds really ridiculous, and it kind of is. This is a picture from NASA, and their team. They came up with this idea, and how this works is there is a giant array that is 100 meters long on Earth of lasers, and then the spacecraft in space has a giant reflector on it, which is what you're seeing, that giant red circle. And so this reflector will collect the laser beams and channel them down into a chamber which has your propellant in it, and then that will actually act as your igniter to propel the spacecraft. So here's how this works. Here's another picture of it here for you. And some of these are a little crazy. Fire the laser! I had to post this. I thought this was really funny. I was going through my research and I just kept hearing her, fire the laser! So I had to post that. But in this illustration here, you see this laser is igniting these matches. Now what's really happening here is that the matches already have all the fuel they need to ignite. They just need something to start that chemical reaction, and that is what those lasers are doing. So in this particular illustration here, there is a special laser that is igniting the phosphorus on the outside of the wood, which is causing it to combust. And that is essentially what is going to be happening inside the spacecraft as well. So there's a little magnification of the inner chamber here, so you'll have the laser reflecting off of the bigger beacon. Let me show you that image here. And it comes down into that little cone, and then it gets funneled into where the fuel is held, and in this case hydrogen, and then that would be propelled out through that vent, and that would push the whole spacecraft towards whatever destination it's aimed at. So this is a really simple idea. We've done things like this with like grenades and a few other random things, where you're essentially just moving the firing piston. Instead of putting the piston in the spacecraft, you're just putting that on Earth and firing enough power in the form of lasers at that core, and then voila, you have propel. You can fly through space. Now the biggest issue they're having here is that since we haven't colonized Mars yet, we don't have the ability to put an equal sized laser on Mars to slow the spacecraft back down. Now this isn't just like a little fast improvement. Like right now, NASA could get somebody to Mars in about 3 to 6 months relatively. This could get somebody to Mars in roughly a month to a month and a half. So this is way faster. The problem is, again, slowing the spacecraft down once it gets to Mars, and without an equal-sized laser, this is where things get tricky. So the first few times sending spacecrafts to Mars using a laser propellant system like this, they would have to actually use a rocket that's kind of reversed on the front of the spacecraft to kind of slow it down from there, and use the actual atmosphere of Mars as a drag unit, essentially. So it would do several rotations around Mars to slow down. But this is a really, really intriguing idea of being able to shoot a laser from Earth into space to ignite fuel on a spacecraft and push it through space. Very rigorous, and with the Earth's rotation and everything, this would not be a hugely impossible a task to do, but with the random weather and stuff, this could also be a huge problem. But it's definitely an option, and NASA definitely doesn't hate it. So they are not the first to test a theory like this as well. And I will post a bunch of links down below if you guys want to dive in and do some research for yourselves. So I got one last topic for you here. Not space related at all, it's Earth related. And you may have heard this on the USA Today and a couple other random bigger networks maybe have mentioned this, but I'm not sure exactly how they explained it, so I'm going to try it for you too. So we got Earth's core here, and this core is broken down into different layers, as we already know. You got your crust and your mantle and yada yada. Now the inner core has been debated for some time to either be completely liquid, like a liquid metal, or to be some kind of compression or superheated metal, which we already know it's got to be, So what they actually found out is that the Earth's core is actually a superionic state. So kind of like this plasma ball here, where the plasma in that chamber is so excited it is like supersonic state, and it is just trying to expel any energy it can by making light. Well, this happens in the Earth's core too. Inside the Earth's core, you have hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon being compressed and rotated and spun. And this actually creates its own kind of inner flux where it becomes super ionic, and not just superheated, but it's like a super fluid almost. So again, it's not a liquid, it's not a solid, it's actually both states simultaneously. It acts as a solid that is constantly moving like a liquid. And so here you have the two inner cores. You have the actual middle core, and then your outer core, which is built up of the smaller rotating arms, and this all creates our magnetized atmosphere that we have, and holds us to the ground essentially, and keeps everything and moving. And so the Earth's core is extremely important. We don't know as much as we obviously could, but this research was all done by volcano research, which I know last year we talked about the Iceland volcanoes, and I got some awesome footage from my cousin who got to go out there and see them in person, so that was really cool. And a lot of the research they got from those volcanoes led to this research now about our Earth's core. So this was really helpful research, really intriguing read, lots of graphs and math. If you guys are into that stuff, you can check out the journals I will post below. But that is all the news I actually have for you guys this week. I know last week I mentioned I might bring up the Samsung S22 series, but they kind of pulled an Apple and just decided to upgrade the processor and the camera lens, and that was it. And they put the pen inside the machine and they called it a new phone. So I wasn't really too thrilled about it. I'm not going to be chatting too much more. In fact, that's probably the last I will mention it. But I want to say thank you for everybody for tuning in tonight. I thought I saw somebody pop up for a little bit there. But again, thank you all for tuning in. Check out our main episodes. I know we mentioned earlier the Art Prize episode is finally aired. And hopefully next week we'll have our music episode. And I will be working on a few other new ones as well for you guys. So definitely check out our channel. Click that subscribe button below, which is that big rectangular red box. If you click that, it'll let you know anytime we have a new episode ready or when we're live. So I want to say thank you again for sticking with me to the end of the episode. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys all next time. I know I learned something new, and I hope you guys did too. I'll see you guys later. Have a great evening, everybody.